Good evening, council members and Mr. Mayor. I spoke to you in January about San Onofre. Some friends of mine have chosen to come down here today. I was actually going to come anyway because on Friday we met with, as someone mentioned, Chairman of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, Yasko. And I can't say that we were satisfied with what we heard, but we did bring about 10 elected officials from other local communities, and we hope that if we get another meeting with that, or perhaps something with the CPUC or something, we could perhaps bring some of you. I wanted to talk about a document with what time I have that's probably going to be passed around to you because it's going to the Solana Beach Council where we're all going to go tomorrow. And it's something that was sent to them by a nuclear engineer, a designer of reactors, a pretty smart guy, I'm sure. The problem with the document is that it was printed by the Nuclear Energy Institute, or maybe the American Nuclear Society, I'm not sure which. It's called 10 Myths About Nuclear Energy. And I'd love to just say the whole thing, every myth they say is actually opposite. But the second one in particular, a nuclear reactor cannot explode like a nuclear bomb. That's absolutely true. So I can't say the whole thing is wrong, but I'd like to explain a little bit about why it can't. The reason it can't is because it does not have as much uranium-235 in it as a nuclear bomb or plutonium. A nuclear reactor only has about 2.5 to 5%, whereas a bomb has about 80% plutonium or uranium-235. That's why it can't explode. It's just not enough uranium. On the other hand, at San Onofre, they've been increasing the amount of uranium-235 so that they can run the reactor longer, like 2 years between refueling, and then they take out half of the fuel instead of only going 18 months and taking out a third of it. So they've changed the mix. They've actually increased the U-235 up to about double what they started with, which was about 2.5, and now it's around 5 or 5.5%. What this means is that when they take the fuel out and it's sitting there for 300 years at least, it's a lot more dangerous. And our reactor fuel, pound for pound, is much more dangerous than the stuff at Fukushima. Now, you've probably been hearing Unit 4, spent fuel pool. If it falls, we could have a catastrophe over the whole globe. Our units may be less likely to have a catastrophe. If we had one, it would be even worse than if that Unit 4 were to fall. So it's time to stop making more of this waste. There was one other point here, if I can find it, and if I can do it in just a moment. Used nuclear fuel is deadly for 10,000 years, it says. And then they're trying to convince you it's only deadly for 300 years because they're going to reprocess it. First of all, we do not reprocess it because it's extremely expensive, dangerous, and polluting, which means it is going to be deadly. And second of all, the effluent from the reprocessing is still radioactive for hundreds of thousands of years. This is just plain wrong, this entire document. We have a lot of really good people that are fighting that plant, and we hope that you'll join us. And if you have any questions at all about what we're talking about, we'll answer them in private, in public, anywhere you want. We'll get experts that are way better than any of us that are here to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.